Okay? Now, guys, remember, you're thinking about, you've been doing these a while now. If the variable you're trying to get by itself is being divided, multiplication is how you undo it. Okay, so the opposite of division is multiplication. Those always cancel, right? When you multiply the denominator and that number cancel. B equals negative 30. We'll multiply that. You're going to do the same thing to both equations. Now, guys, make sure you understand this. The answer is not always a number and its opposite. Okay, you can have numbers that are different. Okay, the reason why they're a number and its opposite because you're not adding or subtracting a constant inside. That's the reason it's like that. Okay, if that was b plus 5, these two numbers would be different. But because b is being divided and it's not being anything added to it, it's going to be the same number. Okay. All right. So even though it's by hand, I would still recommend checking it. What do we always use for the variable in Desmos? X. Yeah, just use X. That way, it seems like Desmos likes that letter better. Plus, it's easier to get to. Okay, put the left side in row 1, right side in row 2. Zoom out. Where they cross, the X value of their intersection is the answer. So I know this is right. Okay, so that's one that would be by hand.
Will we be able to use those most times?
Yeah, you're about to use Desmos. Yeah. You just have to show the work on the ones. I think it's 1, 2, 6, and 7. All right. Okay.
Where that thing went to.
Now, guys, these are on there. I didn't take the time to do these because I didn't think that they would be on the test, but these are just the same. This will be one you can use Desmos. You don't have to do it by hand. I mean, it's not hard to do, but you don't have to worry about trying to do it. Okay?
These are for your notes for the morning.
I got my
Sheets. Well, here, get out a little cheat sheet paper and take some notes.
Okay? Now, guys, this one will be one that you can use strictly Desmos. So remember, we're going to put the left side and then we're going to put the right side in a second row. Do I ever put the whole thing in one row by itself? Don't do that. You can do it that way, but it makes it so much more confusing. So really, if you put these in right and know what you're looking for, this is a very simple. Okay, the only thing different with this being an X, instead of being a straight horizontal line, it's going to be it'll have a line with a slope to it. Still the same concept. It doesn't matter what kind of equation it is. If you're trying to solve with an equal sign in an equation, you're trying to find where they cross. That doesn't matter if we're working absolute value, logarithm, exponential, quadratic, doesn't matter. Okay, it's always the same thing. So now, using Desmos, I have answers at x equals -2 and x equals +8. So on these, you don't have to show me work. I mean, I don't care. Because if you know how to do it, you'll get the right answer. Now, let me make sure that you know about this one. Now, I changed this up. What happens if the line and the absolute value don't cross each other?
No solution.
Yes. If you have an absolute value and a linear equation that doesn't cross, or do not intersect. Guys, I saw some on the review yesterday, so that might be on the test. Just remember, if it doesn't cross, just click no solution. Okay. Maybe put that on your note card or something. If you're trying to figure out what to put on there, put that. If they don't cross, it's just no solution. You may have one of these, or you may not. The ones I've seen has always been the ones with the slanted, or with the one with a sloped line.
What if
Slope.
if it's like 1, unless I'm doing this wrong, it's like type 1. It's just
Just zoom out real quick. Okay. It means it only has one solution. That means it has one extraneous, so you only have one solution there.
so like.
So let's see.
Would I find the points still?
Mm-hmm. What crosses right there?
Yeah.
So you'll have one extra of 2.
All right.
Yep. Guys, Eddie's got one like this, and that's perfectly fine. If you have one like this, of course those go together, right? If you have one like this, how many times do they cross? Once, right? So what that means is, say if that coordinate there is 2, 3, you would only have one solution at x equals 2. You may see those sloped lines. You really can't have one solution with the horizontal. It's going to either be, which I don't think there's going to be no solutions with the horizontal lines with the number, because they're going to hit twice if it's got a solution. So just keep in mind, if you have one of those slanted lines and it only crosses once, it's just one solution at that one x value. Okay. All right. So don't forget to put the absolute value equation rule on your paper. You got the absolute value by itself equal to a positive number. Just set the inside equal to a negative c value, and set the inside equal to a positive c value. Okay. All right. Sir.
I just got one solution.
Yeah, you can get them like that. Okay. Okay, moving on to the absolute value inequality stuff. This is going to be a level 1, so this would be 1 to 2 you'd solve by hand. Okay. I forgot to put inequality there. Absolute value inequality rule. Actually, pull there. Rules. Okay, if you got the absolute value of something, we'll call it A, less than a positive C value, then the rule says take the inside, put it in the middle as a compound inequality. Will these signs ever be the other way? Guys, you will not have an answer with those the other way. Okay? Guys, honestly, if you put those the wrong way, because I probably said that 20 times, I may miscount the whole thing wrong. I'm sorry, but we've said that a bunch of times. I've said it a bunch of times. All right, you said it. You said it equal. You said it less than. Excuse me. Compound inequality. You put the negative C on the left, the positive C on the right, and in this case, of course, that's my C, and inside here's my A, right? A is just what's inside there, and then just solve. All right. So there's your less than rule, right? The other rule, we'll just call this number 1. Rule number 2, if you got absolute value of A greater than a C value, the less than always goes with the negative. The less than always goes with the negative. And of course you got an or there. And then the greater than goes with the positive. And then you're going to solve for variable in both inequalities. Can anybody tell me what the first thing to do here? You don't have to tell me. How many people knows what to do from here? Okay. I mean, you don't have to tell me, but guys, just make sure you know what to do from here. If you know what you're doing, probably what you're saying here is I need to go ahead and set my rule up, right? Because the absolute value is alone. All right, and it's less than. Does the equal to have anything to do with the rule? No, that's just not for the scope of this class. But if you was putting on a number line, it'd just be colored in. But we don't care about that. All right. So now, since I have a less than inequality, I'm looking at rule number 1. Okay. So what I'm gonna do? Negative 8 less than, put my equal to since it's already there. There's the rule. If you notice, I did exactly the same thing the rule said. You should be able to correlate these two right here, because those are just same thing. And then of course you'll subtract. In this case, subtract 5 in 3 places. Don't forget, guys, you will do the operation that you have to do in the middle in 3 different places. In the middle and the both sides. Okay? Okay. If this is my answer, and I put it in Desmos to check it, what part of the absolute value graph should be in the shaded region? The V or the 2 outside legs? The V, right? So real quick. Do I put an equal sign here in the inequality?
No.
Now you're going to put the inequality you have, okay? So I know it's not like I repeat myself a lot, but some people just don't retain stuff very well. They don't, it just don't stick. Guys, notice I've got the right X values, negative 13 and positive 3. They're where they're supposed to be. Notice the V is shaded, so I know that's right, okay? Even though I did it by hand, I know it's right. All right. I got so many things going here at one time. There's that. I don't need this. Oh. There we go. Guys, we just did translated functions. Everybody should be good with that, right? I mean, most of y'all did really well with that. Just don't forget, inside the absolute value, the sign moves it opposite ways. That's the main thing. Now, guys, this is the same problem y'all have, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay. Now, this is a tolerance problem, and this one, your one on the test will be just like it. It's just talking about footballs and the amount of air pressure in the football. Okay, so there's your formula, right? I would put that on my note card. Which is the ideal always the largest number or the smallest number? The ideal. It's always the larger, right? So that means that tolerance is always a smaller one, right? It's not going to be different because that couldn't work. All right. Is that always a minus? Yes, always a minus. So what we got right here, it says standard rulers measure 12.3 inches, including a little extra for the edges. If the measurements are off more by more than 0.2 inches, the number lines mess up. What is the range of lengths of the whole rulers that will work? Okay. So now, X is always there. Don't ever plug in a number for X. No, you don't ever plug in a number for X. X minus my ideal, which is 12.3, absolute value, less than or equal to my tolerance, which is 0.2. Now here's the thing. This question asks, make sure you know, this question asks what is the range of lengths the rulers will work. Okay? So now, range means guys, if you see the word range in your problem, you want they asking for the inequality itself. Okay? So, actually this right here is going to be the answer for the next problem. We'll talk about that in a minute. But if you see the word range, then that means the actual absolute value inequality. Okay. I do this in Desmos too. Okay. Guys, you probably already know this by now, but if it looks like it doesn't have a V, just go ahead and zoom in, because what is, the tolerance is so small that range is not very big. Okay? Now, so the answer, and this is actually your answer too, less than equal to x, less than equal to the small x value, which is 12.1, the large, which is 12.5. So if you see the word range, your answer is going to look like this. I will put that on my note card. If I see the word range, it's the inequality. All right. Last thing. On the second part, write an absolute value equation, it's actually inequality, to represent acceptable measures. I'll edit that to make it inequality. If you see it asks you to write an absolute value inequality, that's your answer. Okay? I would put this on my note card. The way you put it in, the way you put this in is this. You start out with the letters ABS. So to answer this problem, you're going to start out with the letters ABS, open parenthesis, .3 close parenthesis, less than or equal to 0.2. So the one thing that probably you may forget, this start out with the letters ABS, parenthesis, x minus 12.3, less than or equal to 0.2. Does anybody need to see any translated, writing translate? Okay. If you don't need to see that, then I'm going to let you have the rest of the time. Guys, the review is for you to do well with the test. If I have to extend the due date on the review, I can. That doesn't matter. But the main thing is you need to make sure you know how to do the test tomorrow from the review. If you don't know how to do a problem, you need to be asking for help. All right? Okay. So, guys, just be working on the review. If you have finished the review and would like extra practice, let me know. I may be able to put some IXL practice or something like that. But if you're finished with the review and you think you're ready and you've got something else to work on, you can do that. Whichever one you want to do. Okay. I'll be right back.
Can I tell my tutor that I need her after school today?
Yeah.
My vacuum broke.
Today? You think it's in the truck? You have to ask the office about that. Going to your truck. Hello? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do. Yes, sir.
If you would have her create a pass
Uh-huh.
from your area to the front desk,
Okay.
I will add that pass here.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
All
All right, appreciate it. Bye. Linda, you being dismissed.